Hi guys, thanks for tuning in. In this video, I'm going to share with you my personal opinions around the type of mortgage products that I take and the reasons why that is. So this is basically this video is as a kind of side effect of a conversation I had with one of the group members yesterday about what should he be doing when it comes to buying investment properties, and what products, mortgage products, that he should be taking and the like. So obviously I'm not there to kind of advise. I don't have that kind of regulatory qualification, if you like, but all I'm going to put here is what I do and the reasons why I do it. So and in a nutshell, for me it's very simple. Every single time I'm buying a new asset or a new property, I'm always either buying them cash, refurbishing them, taking the funds out of them via refinance afterwards. And when I come to the refinance bit, I'm always buying and taking a 5-year fixed product. Now, why do I do that? I'll explain my rationale, because and rightly so, yesterday we were talking about, well, right now you can get two-year fixed mortgage products somewhere around 2%, 2.5%, sometime a bit lower depending on your credit scores and whatnot. So versus my company product mortgage that I would take will be around 3.25%, depending on where you go. So there's clearly a marginal difference here between the two interest rates, and the difference in terms of mortgage amount is also, by pretty much 1% difference. It could work out quite a bit depending on the size of the mortgage. But let me give you the reasons why I've always done, and I'm talking about for the last 23 years here, and my game plan has never really changed. And there is a reason why. Because I choose a 5-year fixed product because of the following reasons. One, I don't actually, once I've fixed it, I don't have to worry about this particular property for the next 5 years. Two, if I took a 2-year product in the same period of time that I have the 5-year fixed on one side, I will be paying almost 2.5 times survey fees, arrangement fees, broker fees, legal fees, because at the end of the 24 months I have to do that, and then again at the end of 48 months I have to do it again, and then roughly speaking there's another 1 year that my 5-year fix will run. So 2.5 times worth of fees that I'm absolutely saving on. And let's put some perspective on that. On average, because of the size and scale that I'm doing it at, roughly speaking, my conveyancers will charge me about £400 a unit to refinance. Let's take a ballpark 1% arrangement fee. Let's say the average mortgage is around 300 grand, so you're looking at 3 grand. So you're already at 3.5 grand. Then you've got broker fees, ballpark £500. That's 4 grand. And if you've got, what else? You've got let's say any kind of like other ancillaries you might have to do, as like survey valuation fees. That's another 300-400 quid. So you're almost looking at just around your 4.5. What did I say? 3, 4, about 4 grand worth of fees that you might be paying, depending on the size of the mortgage that you're taking. The bigger the size of the mortgage, the more you'll end up having to pay. So the particular reason, let's fix it, let's say at 4 grand a refinance. So if you had to do that 2.5 times, we're talking at 10 grand worth of fees in the same period that I fixed for 5 years, not worry about it at all, and I've paid once, and I saved myself that 10 grand worth of fees over this period. So that 10 grand, you could say, well, actually, I'm saving money each month. Let's make an average £100 a month that you save between fixing for 2 years and fixing for 5 years. That's £1,200 a year. 5 years is 6 grand. It still costs you 10 grand worth of fees to save 6 grand. So actually, you're down £4,000. Let alone the hassle factor, let alone that you if you have got a portfolio, growing portfolio, you just don't have the time or the inclination, or I don't have the time or the inclination to worry about it. I just need to go and buy, fix and move on, and let my team to rent them, other people to manage them, my broker then to sort out when it comes to refinance it after each the 5-year period. We do that as well. So those are really my key reasons why I don't do anything but a 5-year fix. Second reason, and that's also a big reason that I do it for, one is, as I've talked about, is the fees and the cost involved. The second primary reason why I don't do I do a 5-year fix is because that, in my view, if I'm buying, let's say, a house at 300 grand and right now it's renting at, say, 1,200 pounds, my calculation, and bearing in mind I invest in the southeast of England, so my calculation by the demographics, by the numbers of people, by the switch between ownership to private residential over the next kind of 20 years or so, and the past 20 years has been growing anyway. So by my kind of rough calculation, that £1,200, will increase over those 5 years, let's say at least 1350 per month. So in my view, that I'm actually protecting myself, by fixing the interest rate, as long as the interest rate is covered by the monthly rent that I'm getting on day one. And there's obviously a chunk of profit that I will take each month. And the idea that, the value of the property in 5 years' time will increase. Let's ballpark it. Let's say instead of, on average, they double every 10 to 12 years. Let's say they've increased by 50%. And also the rental increase would have gone, marginally, let's say from 1,200 and 1,350. So you're talking 10% increase in the rent as well. So those two combined, in 5 years' time, when I come to refinance, the house is now worth, instead of 300 grand, we've gone for time and a half, so 50% increase, so it's 450. Let's even be worst case scenario, it's 400,000. So in 5 years' time, the house is now worth 400,000. The rent has gone up from 1,200 to 1,350. There's enough money now for me to refinance again, get a decent rate. My loan to value, assuming I don't pull out any money from that house, bearing in mind I teach about buying below market value, so I don't really need to take any more money out because I've pulled all my money out initially. So on the 5-year period where I come to refinance, I will then have a lower loan to value. So the borrowing that I'm borrowing at is going to be lower, because if I paid that 300,000, 25% deposit, you're looking at 225 worth of loan. The house is now worth 450 in 5 years' time, or even 400, we said, in 5 years' time. We're roughly at around 60-65% loan to value. So by that definition, my interest that I will be able to refinance at should be lower as well in 5 years' time, let alone that the rent also has increased as well. So that will also help me. So in a nutshell, these are my really key reasons why I choose to fix for 5 years. I save money on the way in, I save money during that period, and I also make sure that in 5 years' time, the property prices have increased anyway, so I will be on a lower loan to value if I'm not refinancing to pull out more money. And I find myself easy to get refinanced at a lower interest rate as well. So I hope that helps. I hope that clarifies some kind of question you might have in your head. So if you got any kind of questions, please put it in the post below, and I will be happy to answer them. If you got any more questions or information, check out my social media, Instagram, Facebook. I've got 2 books on Amazon. If you Google or if you search on Amazon Azid, AZID, Gunga, Gungah, you will see the links and the books that I've written. I also do one-to-one coaching, so you can DM me directly to have a look at that. And I'm also now co-investing. I'm launching this co-investment opportunity via Credit Capital. So you can reach me in all manner of ways: social media, email, phone, and any other way you wish to do so. And then we can discuss potential investment opportunities, but also if you've got any questions around property itself. I'll see you in the next video. Thank you for watching.